So put me on, man, put me on. 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 Put me on, man, put me on. So put me on, man, put me on.
Playboy fine, do it for the culture. Do it for the culture. Do it for the culture. Do it for the culture.
So put me on, man, put me on.
Good evening and welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Kathleen Dean, and I am the Director of Theater Arts for the brand new Victory Black Box Theater, which will be located at the LA Lee YMCA Mizell Community Center, which opens later this year. We are so excited to bring this brand new state-of-the-art facility with theater arts programming to the community. So much so that we came up with What's in the Box. This is the third show in our What's in the Box series, our virtual stage in anticipation of our doors opening. Our team wants to give you, our audience, a little taste of what's to come when our doors open. We have music and poetry, theatrical plays, art history, and so much more to bring you. In tonight's program, you will see and hear from Michael Anderson and Gabriel Andrews, producers of Heroes of a Thousand Faces. These two gentlemen have poured their heart and soul into creating the series, where their goal is to digitize the success stories of 1,000 Black men. Also joining us are the show's director, Fabian Cardenas, and one of the heroes, Alexander Starr, who does a little digitizing himself in the form of popular music. After the video presentation, we will come back for a live interactive conversation and Q&A, giving you the opportunity to ask questions of our guests. So stay tuned, get your questions ready, and we'll see you again shortly. Enjoy the presentation.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Do-do-do, lab-dab-ba-dab-ba-do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yo. Let's go.
Okay. My name is Alexander Starr. I am a recording artist and songwriter based in South Florida, and I use my music as a vehicle for positive change. What does that mean? It means that I write music that appeals to the commercial markets, but doesn't use degradational, ignorant, or reckless messages. You can have fun without being ignorant. And you know, my music is fun, it's insightful, it's thoughtful. I just so happen to not curse or degrade women. You know, I'm interracial. My dad is African American and Cherokee Indian from North Carolina. My mom is Romanian and Polish Jewish from New York. And I grew up in Tennessee, but also growing up in Tennessee, as a person of color, it doesn't matter that my mom is white. If you put me in a room full of white people, I'm the black guy. But also if you put me in a room full of black people, they used to call me white boy. So I had to learn early on that simply knowing who you are and not really caring what other people think you should be is really the only way to move forward in life. I was able to find my way, I would say by like middle school, early high school. That's when I really kind of figured out that I'm me, not necessarily somebody that needs to fit in with other people. That's when things got cool. When I was in 7th grade, we got a call on the intercom. And remember, this is a small town with maybe there's 300 kids in my school total, and maybe like a fifth of us are black, and that's guys and girls included. We get a call on the intercom. Will all the African American boys please come to the auditorium? And we were all like, what, they about to do, gas chamber us or something? And it was actually Kappa Alpha Psi. Kappa Alpha Psi came to our school to kind of like big brother us and bring us into Kappa League and to mentor us. And it was great because these are college kids. I'm in 7th grade, 8th grade, and they were like just mentoring us, bringing us around, taking us to like, just cookouts in cabins in the woods and stuff, and it was just like really fly because they were just being big brothers. They would play basketball with us. They would have car washes in the Walmart parking lot for us, and they were just like mentors, you know. So that to this day had a really profound impact on me and on the idea of being the person that you needed when you were young. So having older men and older like black men come into my life and just kind of treat me like a little bro, like that was really cool, and I never forgot that, and now I am that for other young kids. I teach songwriting classes to inner city youth that have suffered childhood trauma, abuse. I do it through an organization called the Motivational Edge. It's a nonprofit in Miami that provides a platform for inner city teens to express themselves and to be who they are creatively through the arts, whether it be music, poetry, dance, instruments, lyrical expression. That's what I teach. For instance, earlier today I was in DJJ, Department of Juvenile Justice. Once a week, our class replaces English class in the lockdown facility. It's really innovative stuff, man. And we're basically, we come to the class with topics, with lessons about the topics we speak about, and instrumentals. And we get these kids who otherwise are in class like this. We come in, I throw on a beat, I talk about what we're gonna talk about, I spit a verse, and I got all these kids sitting up, talking, oh, Mr. Star, snap. Okay, I could do that. And we get these kids who, with like a 0% performance rate, to turn to like 100% performance rate. And the teachers get with it too. The teachers start rhyming. The teachers come and write verses in the class and share them with the class. So then, we got the students laughing, and we got the teachers having fun with the students. So that's like strengthening relationships right there. So, I serve the community in that way, and we expose them to other ways of thinking. We expose them to forward thinking as opposed to quicksand thinking. That we show them that there are branches that you could grab onto and pull yourself out. Another way is I'm Chief Brand Ambassador of AFR Clothing, educating Africa one shirt at a time. There are more than 50 million kids around the world, according to UNESCO, that are primary school age that aren't enrolled in school. More than half of them are in sub-Saharan Africa. My business partner, Kuda, is from Zimbabwe, so he knows firsthand. So our clothing line donates 20% of our profits directly to the tuition fees of underprivileged kids in Africa. And AFR Clothing seeks to alleviate that number and providing kids with the opportunity to educate themselves so that they can not only help themselves get out of dire situations, but also help those around them. Education will do that.
My name is Mr. Alexander Starr, and I represent the underrepresented. I'm gonna let the music do the speaking, but what you know, when you spread love and you spread light, and you seek to make a living at doing so, the unseen forces in power, they like to make it real hard for you, and they like to make you have to go against the grain, but that's what I do best. That's what this record is. Turn up! Yo, can I get some clap, please?
I remember a specific situation where I was really frustrated because in my career, like I said, I don't really cuss and I don't degrade women, not anymore at least. And I had put out my first solo album, No Hype, Just Hope. And I was really, really, really excited about it. But I didn't market it properly. I knew that there were hit songs on there, but I didn't have the capacity, at least I thought back then, to really do much with it. So the album didn't do much. And especially being an artist in the music industry with a positive message, that's like completely against the grain, especially on a mainstream level. And despite that, And despite many, many, many people telling me, like, dude, you gotta make club songs. You gotta make songs for the club. You gotta make songs for the club. Me, I hate clubs. Like, I do not enjoy them. Um, I decide, listen, I'm sticking to my guns, but nothing's happening. So Kuda called me one day saying, "Hey, Star, I gave your album to one of my coworkers. He's like this 50-year-old guy, and he wants to talk to you. Can I give him your number?" I was like, "Yeah, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, have him call me." So the guy called me. He's a poet from back in the day. Apparently, used to be like a really prominent poet up in Philly, and now he's got like 3 kids or whatever. I don't know how many now. This was like 7, 8 years ago, and he spoke to me on the phone for legit like an hour and a half, telling me how he listened to my album from beginning to end, and it amazed him how I made records like that without cussing and without degrading women. And he hit me with this word that to this day, like, gives me chills and I'll never forget. And this was at a point where I'm like, I was legit getting really frustrated. Like, man, nobody wants to hear this. Man, ain't nobody really into this positive music stuff. You know, all right, this album is cool, but I don't know if I'm gonna do anything further with it. And at the end of our conversation, like an hour and change in, he was like, Star, I just want to urge you, urge you not to change your direction. He said, you probably feel like nobody's really paying attention. You probably feel like nobody has any idea the value of what you're doing. And I'm like, man, it's exactly what I feel like. And he said, let me put it this way. Star, you're so early for class that you feel like nobody's gonna show up. You're in the classroom, sitting in a desk, the lights are off, and your head is down because nobody's there. He said, keep yourself in that classroom. Eventually, the lights are gonna flip on. You're gonna see people filling in the room. You're gonna be surrounded by people in all the desks, and you're gonna stand up and realize that you're the professor. And when he told me that, that kind of just reinvigorated, because he saw the skill and the craftsmanship that I put into what I'm doing. And he reaffirmed that even though I'm completely against the grain of the industry, tides shift. And I'm already going into the direction that the tide is shifting. So where everybody's ebbing this way with the tide, I'm swimming this way. Eventually, the tide goes back out, and that's just gonna propel me. So, you know, that was really encouraging. And throughout the years, I've gotten that so many times from so many different people. I know that my gifts are not for me. They're to share with other people. And everything that I do is for a reason bigger than me. It's bigger than myself. And every show that I do, every class that I teach, every, you know, music review that I get, that where people let me know that, man, I didn't think that this was possible, but you're doing it. Like, dude, that's way bigger than me, because in my mind, I'm not doing anything special. I'm simply making music the way that I want to make it. But knowing that it's touching people in a way that I couldn't even design lets me know that it's bigger than me. And I'm constantly reminded of that. You know, this is my era, because whether I like it or not, what I'm doing impacts people, and it's impacting the world. And that's a huge responsibility. It can be intimidating, but I'm not afraid. And that's what keeps me motivated.
Man, these people trying to stop me never rest. Forcing me to swim upstream, but I'm not impressed. Cause that's what I do best. That's what I do best. That's what I do best. And I got the whole world thinking it can't be done. So I beat my chest, cause that's what I do best. That's what I do best. That's what I do best. I ain't never scared, I'm forever ready. So come and get me while I beat my chest, cause that's what I do best.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello, everybody.
How are you gentlemen doing?
Doing wonderful. How are
Good,
you, Kathleen?
Doing
excellent.
great. So this is our What's in the Box episode, Digitize It. And it's all about you storytellers and digitizing your message. So I want to start with Michael and Gabriel. And as producers of the series, tell me a little bit about why you think this was a great way to get your message across to the public.
Gabriel, you can go ahead and start.
Sure, sure. Um, so one of the things is visual media is just one of the most powerful ways to convey a message, of course, like hence we're on right now, right? And so think about, again, Instagram, the popularity of Instagram, Facebook, everybody's uploading just videos of themselves, pictures of themselves. Of course, like visual media has to be the medium. And so but it is just that, right? It is just a medium. It's a popular medium, but a medium. And so, what are you going to put out on that particular highway? What messages are you going to try to convey? And so, this particular, I guess, message, again, of like, hey, despite maybe what some of the stereotypes might be out there, like Black men are contributors to their society through and community, from every level, and so that's the overall general message. Again, trying to convey that it's not just one or two or a few. Like eventually we'll have 1,000 examples, of these contributions and contributions from different perspectives, right? And so again, just visual media and that's just I think the best platform right now for getting our message out there.
Yes. And I would just say, Kathleen, thank you again for inviting us and even providing this platform. But that's what we look to do. That's the way me and Gabriel came together on this project, is to create a platform to really share these stories of these men, to inspire, educate, motivate, all of the words you would like to use, but really to just share these messages and stories with the general public, but in particular with young men. Young men, to be a roadmap, or just show them that they're not in a cave by themselves with their thoughts, that other people have had the same trials and tribulations to go through. And just by hearing some of these stories, we hope that it could help them in their lives.
Wow, thank you. Fabian, so you were selected to direct these episodes. Tell me how you incorporate, your vision in direction into telling these stories digitally.
Well, actually, thank you for having me, Kathleen. Actually, Michael and Gabriel already started, and what the piece that you saw it is their version. And when we met and we start talking, they show me already these pieces, which are available on YouTube and all of that platforms. So I'm actually the director to bring this to the broadcast, and I'm bringing all the life that they are saying. I want to say it in many ways, with animation, with sounds, with anything that I can throw out there. And we are trying to put 8 subjects in the first season for a very rich, well thought out story. Like today, I was just watching the video of Star, and it's amazing. And already I'm inspired by doing some animation of the moment that he has with this person that he calls and encourages him from anywhere, right? And the metaphor of the dark room and the school, and then realizing that he's the professor. I mean, that is what we want to do. So I think Gabriel and Michael, what they have is gold. I have told them from the beginning, and it's not only that translate for a minority like the African American, but also can translate to the Hispanic, the Asian, or whoever. So I see as this show as a brand. So and the brand that is going to encourage every minority, and see that you can go beyond basketball or football or whatever we think that it is just this perception of the world that if you don't make it there, you just can, not do any good in society. That's not true, So that's what we draw me in, and I'm happy that they asked me to be part of it.
I love that. I love that you are thinking big and seeing the series as a brand. That's phenomenal, and very inspiring. Alexander Starr. So you're a storyteller in your own right, through your songs, and then having the honor of being featured as one of the heroes. Talk to me about how you convey your message through your digital musical storytelling.
Well, first I want to let all of y'all know that I'm a fan of each of y'all's work. So, it's really awesome for me to come up here and be a part of this. Not to mention to even be featured on something that denotes me as a hero. Like that's that's big. That's something that I don't necessarily aim for, but to be called that and highlighted as that, like that's really humbling for me. So I really appreciate all of y'all, and again, it's extra dope because I'm a fan of all of y'all's work. um but yeah, I mean, you know for me, I mean, I'm just using gifts that I've always known that I was good at to make an impact on the world. And then when I realized that, music is like really, really powerful medicine, right? Or it could be powerful poison, depending on how you mix the ingredients, right? So I figured, when I realized that music has the impact that it does on people, I decided to mix my ingredients to have positive side effects as opposed to negative side effects. It's really like it's a long game. Anything in the music industry, it's the long game. A lot of that has changed in social media in this day and age. Uh, and I think probably one of the most challenging parts of social media, I know this is totally a tangent, but like this is kind of what I do. Um, One of the most challenging parts of social media for an artist is that we're no longer up against artists. We're up against shock value, right? It's not enough to just be a musician anymore. You're against social media, which is its own beast. So I'm competing with people who are putting gorilla glue in their hair, right? You know what I'm saying? Like these are things that go viral. So as an artist, you know what I mean? I don't see a point in doing music or trying to pursue the music industry if I'm not doing something that actually matters to me, because otherwise I'm just chasing shock value and I don't feel like there's any joy in that. I'm just doing something that brings me joy and creating a lane where there wasn't necessarily a lane when I stepped in.
Well, you brought up some really interesting points about how the industry has changed because of social media and the I guess the challenges that face artists. But I mean, it's also, provided more opportunity to get your message directly to your audience.
Yeah,
So, you know, I think that's a definite benefit
absolutely.
of social media.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's many benefits, many cons, and all of it comes at a cost of investing in creating content, like what Gabriel was saying. Like you have to consistently be creating content and nourishing your fan base, because the minute that you're not, they got 1,000 things else scrolling through their feed right there, out of sight, out of mind, right? Especially in the social media era.
True. You gotta keep posting 3 times a week.
Oh God.
Hashtag it.
Yeah.
So this program is called What's in the Box, and I usually save this question for last, but I'm gonna throw it out there now. I like to ask the artists that come on our program, what's in your box? What are the tools, the techniques, or the philosophies that you have that help you live your best life as an artist? Who wants to go
That's
first?
ooh.
I think that's a great question. I don't know what, I guess one of the things is that's a really good question because I guess I need to find out everything that's in my box. I'm always reaching back, but I think really for me, stepping out of the box has been really good for me. I've been sort of I consider myself shy and not really want to engage with people or connect with people. I am. But I think I step out of the box in that aspect. Even when it comes to video production, I've been behind the camera and always editing in the room, but then taking on roles as a producer. It's making contacts, it's finding stories, and it's a whole nother tool that I have to use out of the box. So I mean, I'm always reaching in the box to find different things, but it's a lot of tools in that box. So I'm always reaching out. But I think for me, it's stepping out of the box at times.
All right, I love it. Stepping out of the box.
Man, I don't know about being shy there, Mike, but oh
That's
man,
right, huh?
right.
I think also if we're thinking a box is also about the desire. I think the desire of doing something, the desire of, because we talk about social media, and again, social media could be good or bad, right? But it's the desire of I want to do this and I wanna follow the path and I wanna go through this journey, and so that puts a smile. Because if you don't want to do that, it just becomes a standard job, right? Or a misperception of a job. That's what as a society we say. Oh, I have my 8 to 5, whatever, But I think as an artist, we always are looking for something in that box, and that box could be huge. We don't know what is there.
So desire.
Yeah, a lot of desire and love for the path, the journey that you're going to take with every project, with every film, with every um, anything that you do, every play, anything.
There's a lot of wisdom in that, right? Often we get kind of caught up in the outcome, but loving the journey is definitely important.
Yeah, I think it's the most important for an artist because who is going to love the journey is the audience. I mean, who is going to love the result is the audience, but we have to love the path, the journey.
True. Alexander, Gabriel, what's in your box?
Yeah, I'm still thinking about it. I guess kind of maybe tagging along with what Fabian said. I think it is the work. Um, just to be able to, I guess, just really try to continue to do good work, right? And to try to do better work than you did last week or last year, or, just that can kind of continual progression. I don't know that there is necessarily like a finish line. I don't know. Give that from Nike. I guess there is no finish line or whatever. But you just really want to keep on pushing yourself to kind of what Star said, have an impact, but also continue to do better and better and better work at the end of the day, and just I guess kind of figure out who you really are from that. I guess that's right. When you look at the I guess all the really good movies, the question in the bottom, or like the subtext is like, who am I, right? All the stories kind of like, and even the stories of the heroes, we're following the hero's journey, if you will, right? It's who are these men that we're showcasing. And I guess essentially that's the same question that perhaps we ask ourselves, is who are we, and then to demonstrate that by the work that we do eventually. Yeah. I don't know. I'm reaching there. Trying to,
There's a lot in your
yeah,
box.
sure.
Oh man. So I got the pressure of going last. Ooh. Okay. To be honest, as a recording artist and as a songwriter and as someone who basically makes a living and an impact by putting his thoughts out there in various forms, man, I felt everything uh, strengthen, change, and uplift in my process when I reached into my box and found tolerance for my own flaws. That's when the game completely changed. Like, you know, people, especially in this social media age, are so concerned with putting their most perfect moments out, right? Like, everything. Like social media is literally a show that you put on for people, and it's not really who you are outside of that feed, outside of that page. We all hide our scars and only show our smiles and stuff. But the real nutrition and the real interesting parts are in your flaws, because no matter how weird you are, no matter how crazy the things you like are, there are bunches of people out there who are just as weird as you and who do not have the capacity to share the weirdness the same way that you do. So, like, as an artist, when I start talking about things that like weird things in my head or opinions that I have, or, think crazy things that I think about, and you put them out there, you start realizing you got other people that are crazy just like you, that are waiting for you to speak up about how crazy you are. You're speaking for people. Not everybody's gonna, no matter how talented you are, some people just aren't gonna like you. And that's the way it is. And that's across the board. It doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter who you are. You got flawless everything. Some people are gonna not like you because you're flawless, right? So once you forget about pleasing everybody and you're like, you know what, let me just do what I do naturally and share it as it's given to me. The people who are meant, like, you become a magnet for the people who are magnetized to your frequency, right? Your vibe attracts your tribe. And when you do what you're meant to do naturally, the people who are meant to like you will eventually be magnetized to you because you're just resonating your own frequency. Did all of that make sense, or was I
And
being
it
weird?
did.
Totally,
Talking
Yeah,
totally.
about kind of
no, I
And
did.
hashtags
your
and
vibe
and
attracts your
I
tribe.
know,
t-shirt
man. I don't
printing.
know.
That is
Hey, I'm about to get a shirt.
for
I'm about to
sure.
get a
Yeah, me
shirt
too.
printed.
One of the things I add in there too, talking about flaws. One of the big things about the Heroes Project is really like examining and analyzing the flaws of us all. The journey of these men. We one of the things we talk about is that heroes are all around us in a sense. When we say heroes, we're really talking about uh, men and people that are making a difference in society today, however that may be. And going through your flaws of your journey or your ups and your downs, or what we really want to hear and know about. It's great to hear about all the highs, but we really want to know about the lows and how did you get through the lows, because we feel that can be inspiring to somebody that's going through a low currently, to know how they can see a light at the end of the tunnel. So, I mean, flaws, it's all about flaws, that's for sure.
And I think like just being authentic like that, embracing your flaws and being real and knowing that your last mistake is your best teacher helps other people realize that they could follow suit. They could write a series or record a song or pursue their dream. So there's a lot to be said about being authentic and flawed. No filter.
Yeah.
It is true.
So, your vibe creates your tribe, and one of the things that we're utilizing this platform for is to build our community. So I want to reach out to the community that has joined us virtually and take some questions and also kind of read some of the comments that they've put in the chat. Betty Torres says, "Wow, very talented." I'm sure she means each and every one of you gentlemen. Tangela Milton, I love Alexander Starr's voice. It was a beautiful song. Patricia Jose, shy LOL. I think she's laughing at you, Michael.
I
We
think
know that you
so.
are
What is
not
that about?
shy. AJ Donaldson, big up, Alex. Keep grinding.
Hey, big up AJ. What's up, bro?
Cheers to 1,000 heroes. Impact the culture. Um, let's see what else we got. Follow, love this. Let's celebrate our uniqueness. Dean Robana, that is so true. You cannot please everybody. How true. Perfectly flawed. Tangela says, when Alexander made a decision to do positive music, how did that affect his friendships?
Mm.
Interesting.
Ooh, what a great question. Um, yeah, that's really interesting because I've done music full time since like 11th grade. So my friendships are my music industry cohorts, right? Like all of them, really, most of my friends are pretty much in my industry. And it's interesting to find how so many people are conditioned to believe that it's got to be one way if you want to be successful. So many of my friends um, and a lot of acquaintances, and especially like people of position that I looked up to, um, they all would say similar to what I said in the interview. It's like, now, if you want to blow, man, your record got to blow in the strip club first, or they've got all these things in their mind, that it's got to be done, and especially because I'm brown, right? Like, because I'm sitting there thinking like, yo, Justin Bieber didn't blow in the strip club, Miley Cyrus didn't blow in the strip club. Like you think because I'm black that I only rap, and B, that I have to follow the path that the media has set for us. And a lot of my friends have thought that way, and a lot of them continue to think that way. And that's why, I go against the grain so well. And I really had to forge my own lane. And by the grace of God, this is what I do for a living. And I think just in doing that, you know, um, it kind of proves my point that I don't have to follow what everyone else thinks I have to, you know? So yeah, it affected my friendship interestingly, but you know what? That was like that was the A side. The B side is a lot of my other friends lifted me up, right? A lot of people came and like we became a union, and like they rallied behind me, right? So I've got core strategic collaborators who are just like, listen, I don't care what you're doing, you're dope, let's work, right? And those are the real friends who, like, a friend is somebody who, when they see you swimming, they'll lend you a fin, right? A lot of friends lent me a lot of fins, and I do the same for them. So it's been an absolute blessing. That's a really insightful question. I'm probably going to be thinking about that as I lay down and go to bed.
We can talk again. So I want to acknowledge our community watching on Facebook. We have Ed Cassis, Nikki Lopez, Karen Jackson, George Lopez, no relation, Stefan Mayer. Thank you all. If you have questions, type them in the chat and we will ask the panel your questions.
Kathleen, if I may, I just wanted to say too, we have some heroes that are, I would say, in the room as well on the Zoom. So I want to thank them for coming on and being a part and participating, because one of the overall goals for us is really to create this community. I mean, what we're starting out is doing these interviews, these exposés about these individual heroes' lives, but in reality, it's building this whole collaborative platform, even where heroes that can connect, where young people can find mentorship through these collaborations. And we feel like the more we can keep creating these stories, that our goal is 1,000. So we need a lot of help to get there, but our goal is 1,000. But by having 1,000 stories, it has so far reaching to connect with so many people, and it can create a big network. I think one of the questions Mark in the Q&A part he asked about who is our core audience. For us, when me and Gabriel got together, and to be honest, our core, if we really drill down, our core was to reach Black and brown boys between the ages of 8 and 18. And we really wanted to highlight uh, heroes and individuals that we felt would inspire, and they would see themselves in the eyes of those men. And that being said, the audience is vast, though. That is our core, but it's like a funnel, and it's very wide. Everyone can find inspiration in these stories, no matter what your ethnicity, gender, whatever it may be. You can find inspiration. I feel you can. So and he asked about our distribution. We're Right now, we're trying to put out our platform through our website, online, through social media, but as well, we are searching for television distribution as well to get this out in a series. So that's our platform right now. Thank you, Mark, for the question.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. And Michael, can you just say hello to the heroes that are on? Just let's
Yeah,
hear their
yeah.
names.
I don't, let me see if I go down that list, but the
Got
heroes might have
AJ
to.
Donaldson there,
AJ Donaldson, yes,
Bennett,
for sure.
Bennett Thompson.
Yeah, Bennett Thompson.
Got
Hey,
shout out Ludlow Bailey.
yes, Mr. Bailey. We recently interviewed Mr. Bailey at the Perez Museum. Great interview we had there in the Perez Museum. And if anyone knows heroes that can fit the bill for what we're doing, you know, and when I say fit the bill, individuals that are making an impact in the community and in their life and in their journey, please go to our website, 1000heroes.net. You can fill out some information there and just let us know. Please connect with
Absolutely.
us any way you can.
Yeah. Got Bishop Adams as well.
Yeah.
So how many heroes have you interviewed so far?
So we have like over 30. We have over 30. They're in various, I guess, aspects of production. So some are in the can and done, and some are on the chopping, I guess, cutting table
That's right.
as we speak. And
Yes,
some are in
right
queue.
behind you somewhere.
Yes. Also, just really quick, we had a couple, well, an assistant, he's a production assistant who's been really helpful on a couple of shoots as well. Austin De La Pena and his brother Ethan, who have been giving us a hand, and they're on as well. So just want to say thank you. You know, it has been a while because Star, we shot this last month, 2 months, a little bit ago, right?
A little longer than that, but
a little longer than that, you know. And so, you know, it has been a process, and people have been just really contributing to the project to help get us there. And just really want to say thank you to all those contributions as well. You know?
yeah. And even what we're doing, Kathleen, really, again, really thankful for the platform, but we want to spread the stories and message of what we're doing in opportunities like this that the YMCA is providing through the Black Box Theater. We really appreciate the opportunity, and we're looking to go around and do virtual screenings throughout for us right now, the tri-county area, I want to say, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Palm Beaches, you know, to really spread these stories out and hopefully within the inner city communities and really connect with the youth.
Well, thank you. You know, we're really happy that you all came on to share these stories. And it is so important to hear stories of inspiration. Alexander, you know, you shared a very special story in the film about someone who encouraged you to stay your course. Um, I'd like to ask you all, who have you encountered that has inspired you or encouraged you to stay your course?
Wow, that's that's good. I mean, for me, it's been my mother. You know, she's been a rock in my life, and so you know, just her looking over me has been that inspiration that I've needed and I've gone by. So that's for me.
I gotta say something similar in a sense. My mom is on too. Hey, mom. Uh, but yeah, like you know, just thinking single family, single parent, you know, mom, and she's working, you know, to try to put a roof over her head, me and my sister, and just to kind of see, you know, like we didn't lack for anything. I don't think we had everything that we wanted, but we didn't lack for anything, and so I appreciate that, and then just to, I guess, her wherewithal to realize that I didn't necessarily have a father figure in the home. She actually reached out to like big brothers and big sisters for me. So I'm a little brother And just, I think about that a lot, that impact that had for me, just being up under, just seeing another, another man, another Black man, just take care of his family, and I'm a part of that family, was really big for me. So just that type of foundation is really what I'm resting on.
That's awesome. Those organizations are so important. Fabian, how about you?
Well, I think I'm not going to break the line of the mother figure. I mean, coming from a single parent home as well, and more difficult even in South America. So I think my mother gave me the gift of persistence, and my wife gave me the strength, and she has a lot of faith in what I do, and she sees from outside. So I guess I have to keep doing it for those two women.
Awesome. And Alexander, I know you share that beautiful story, but I'm sure there were other people along the way.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I've gotten a lot of, affirmation from a lot of the teens that I've done the songwriting and recording workshops with. I've worked with teens in foster care. I spent 2 years doing therapeutic songwriting and recording sessions with teenage girls who were rescued from human trafficking, basically making original music with these kids. And then I go in there and let them know that, you can't curse, you can't, grade women, we're just going to be positive. And, you know, interacting with them, right, who are fully consumed in the mainstream music of today, and having them reaffirm that they love what they're doing with me. And then they go outside of the class, they like, I come back a week later, a month later, whatever, Mr. Starr, listen to your album, man, it was jamming, And these are the same people who listen to everybody that I'm up against and against the grain of. And just to get affirmation from young people that what I do, not that I'm not young, because I'm most definitely young, but from like teenagers, which is another level of young, just to get affirmation from them that my music is dope, that keeps me going. Because, when I'm by myself, I have doubts. It's just coming in contact with other people who believe in what I'm doing, even when I have doubts. I think that's what really inspires me to keep going, is that other people care that I'm doing what I'm doing. Because again, if it was just up to me and my thoughts, and I would question myself every day. I do until I go out and somebody lets me know that what I'm doing is working. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I should probably keep going.
That's awesome. I think it's beautiful. We do find inspiration in the youth, Children are unadulterated, they're pure of heart, and they'll tell you right away if what you're doing is good
Mm-hmm.
or not.
Yeah.
So that's a very special interaction that you've had. And the beautiful work. I think you're all heroes, and I'm really inspired by your stories and the way that you collaborate, to bring the message of the thousand positive men in the community to everybody. So this has been really an inspiring evening.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
thank you. I just also I mentioned some of the heroes that were on line, but I also know our executive producer who's been helping us, supporting us in this project. Richard Quadrisi is also on, and we've had support from the Wendover Foundation, who's really helped us move forward with our broadcast versions of what we're doing, because we all know, especially in the TV production area, it takes some money to move these projects forward, and me and Gabriel for a long time, I think it's probably been 5 years now, we've been recording and recording. Alexander, you probably, that was 5 years ago. It's been a road, and so we've been recording, but you know, um, we pray, and blessings of God that one day this will be uh, in a mainstream scenario where it's being broadcast, and it's in different homes, and we have that database. So just wanted to say thank you to Richard and his support.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Helping
Thank you.
us with. So,
Well, I'm definitely rooting for you. There's so many opportunities for distribution now
yeah,
that I'm hoping Heroes comes to the broadcast waves very soon.
yeah, we're almost there.
Almost there.
Guys got to
We
stay
will.
tuned. We're around the corner.
Yeah, and Fabian, when can we see some of this animation? You've piqued my interest.
You pick well. It's soon. It's soon. I think we have 2 weeks more of post production, and it's in the color stage and the sound mixing, and then I think, Michael will let you know to see
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
can just look the whole piece, and then maybe we'll have even some sort of like special private showing, and then you will see the full concept live. I mean,
Yeah.
the way they envision, or I hope I translate what they envision
Yeah. It's
into
coming
this.
together very well. The first episode, which is a 30-minute episode, is of hero Richard Ingram, who is a personal chef, celebrity personal chef. He is Dwayne Wade's personal chef for the last, I guess, 18 years now. But it's really his life journey, growing up in Miami Gardens, going through school, going to FAMU, deciding to be a hairstylist, a cosmetologist, and becoming a chef, going to culinary school, and then really like finding his way. And a lot of ups and downs in his life, but he continued to keep getting up. And I think the story, is there. You see the message is in the story. You see like his failures, and you see how he overcame. And now, in his own words, he's like living his best life. So that episode is coming very, very soon.
And if I can add to that, I think the message for the youth in this pilot, and which is amazing, is you never have a straight shot to something. It's rare, okay? But you need to keep trying to find who you are, and then say, okay, this is what I want to do. And when you do that, success comes.
Words of wisdom. You never have a straight shot. I know so many people that want to throw in the towel and give up because it wasn't easy. Nothing worth having is easy. That sounds a little cliche, but
To ask
Hey.
a question to Star, can you just tell us a little bit, because that piece was a little while ago. What are you doing now?
Oh man, so much. That's a lot to cover.
Okay, all right, never mind. I'm
sorry. That's a
We'll
lot
have
to
another
cover.
show.
Yeah, I mean, a lot has happened since then. Since then, I have been around the world with "This Is My Era," which is a song that y'all can look up. Since then, I got the Emmy nomination for a city that I did with Miami. Thank you, thank you. It's cool, but Michael got the real thing, so he got the, you know.
I know the breakdown, man.
I've performed inside the United Nations 5 times by special invite. I've starred on a French TV show, the #1 rated French TV show, 2 seasons.
What's the name of the show?
It's called Les Anges, Lesanges, the Angels. And honestly, I didn't know anything about it until they wanted to use one of my songs for the anthem. And then when we met for the contract, they asked me to be in an episode. And then they just kept asking me to come back. And I had no idea that it was like a real deal, huge TV show until the episode started airing. And my social media just went pling.
Wow. Parlez-vous français?
Je prends. I'm learning only, from my colleagues there. But yeah, I've done that. I did a Super Bowl commercial last year with that same song, "This Is My Era." So yeah, a lot of stuff rooted in impact. Oh, and if you live in Fort Lauderdale and you go to Extreme Action Park, I did the anthem for Extreme. So as soon as you pull up to the building, you step out of your car, you're gonna hear my song playing on the speakers. It's called "Let's Play."
Nice.
I mean, honestly, I guess the best way to answer that question is just continue strategic partnerships. I find ways to connect with people, artists, organizations, companies, governments, whatever, to find ways that I can be of benefit to whatever they want to get out to the world. And I tailor make music, I tailor make campaigns, and strategically partner with people. So yeah,
That's a
that's how
whole
I
lot
stay.
of good stuff, Alexander. My goodness, you are blessed.
Yeah, yeah. So I tried to like compress it into like a sound bite versus like, well, I did this and I really had to truncate it.
So, Ludlow Bailey is asking, where can we send money to support the project?
Man, that's a great question.
What a wonderful question.
Sure, that's an awesome question. I mean, I would say we are working through a nonprofit organization. So those that want to donate and help support in what we're doing, that's an opportunity to shout out for the nonprofit, which is Path Story of the Diaspora Forward. And Path Story, the reason for its existence is to tell stories, to really get out stories into the world of the African diaspora of men and women throughout, our country that are doing great things. And so Heroes is one of those projects that's under the umbrella. But as far as how you can donate, you can go to passstory.org. I'll type it in to the chat,
Put it in
but
the chat. Okay.
.org, and that's PASS, like pass, story, .org. And there's a donate feature there. And also, again, I mentioned too, for the Heroes website, to recommend a hero or get involved. We're always looking too for people that want to volunteer their time, or especially young kids that want to learn about production and being a part of the editing process or the shooting process, and learning how to, I don't know, hold a camera or develop a story, whatever it may be. We would love to hear from young people in our community that want to get involved in the process, because that's I think that's where we can really accelerate what we're doing. Because to get to 1,000, we need a lot of help, right? We need a lot of help, and so it would be great if that help is coming from the young eyes and young minds running the cameras. We'll worry about getting the cameras once we get the individuals ready to help. So, but again, 1,000, the number 1,000, 1000. Did I miss a zero? Zero. Heroes.
We know 3 zeros. So I will be reaching out. I'm the director of arts and theater performance at the brand new LA Lee YMCA Mizell Community Center, and we are all about the youth and connecting beautiful people like you with our children, so that we can uplift the next generation and help each other realize our dreams. So to close out the segment, I want to thank you so much to everyone that joined us tonight. We look forward to bringing you more great programs. Stay tuned, and next month we'll have another great feature. And I want to thank all of these wonderful gentlemen again, and everyone have a great rest of your evening.
Yes, yes, and also just before we leave, it's going to be on YouTube, and so share this Zoom meeting. Speak to anybody who has missed this evening, so that they can hear the stories and hear our content and what we're speaking about. So thank you again, Kathleen, for your help.
Thank you, Kathleen.
Thank you, Kathleen.
Yes, yes.
And thank you, everybody, and including everyone who tuned in and watched. Y'all's comments and questions were amazing. And just shout out to everybody here, man. The teamwork makes the dream work. So I'm happy to see all these professionals coming together and doing really amazing things.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, one more time, Star. What was that? The vibe, your vibe. What is your vibe, your tribe? What? Say it again.
Your vibe attracts your tribe.
There it is.
Tribe. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Good night.
Peace, everybody.
Thank you so much for joining us for tonight's program. We can't do the work we do without your support. The YMCA is a not-for-profit organization, and we would appreciate your donations to help support the work we plan to do in arts education, film, and other programs as they relate to the Victory Black Box Theater. Please visit our website, ymcasouthflorida.org, for more information on future shows. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Victory BBT YMCA.